Welcome, friends, to More Than a Career program, where we unpack every profession, bringing you content on what is expected, demanded, and required of you in every profession, so that when you're making career choices, you are well informed. Today we have Dr. Mawoko. Dr. Mawoko, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Cindy?
I'm very well.
Yes.
Thank you very much for spending this minute to be with us today.
Welcome.
It's quite a... So maybe tell us, who is Dr. Mawoko and what is your profession?
Dr. Mawoko is a young medical practitioner who works as a specialist general surgeon. Yes.
So how long have you been in practice and what challenges have you been facing?
I've been in the practice for about 11 years.
Okay.
Yes, for about 11 years. There's been ups and downs. Mostly these 11 years it was mostly study, because for you to become a specialist, you have to go an extra years of study. So you first do the first 5 years to be a doctor. Then for you to a general doctor. Okay. Then for you to specialize, you have to do another 5 years again.
So in short, we are saying someone who aspires to be a specialist surgeon has to be willing to go through the books.
Yes, has to be willing to go through the books.
Yes. So you've heard it for yourself. What really inspired you to become a doctor? Or who inspired you to become a doctor?
My mother used to work at a district hospital. She used to work in an office. So at times she would bring some medical books and I could read those books. And then my teachers also, O level, the biology teacher, he inspired me so much that I enjoyed biology, and then I noticed that I think I should follow this. I
see. So you're saying your mother had a bigger hand in terms of you developing the passion for medicine.
Yes.
And also your biology teacher.
Yes.
He had a role to play in you developing this passion for medicine.
Yes.
Beautiful. So which means our teachers also have roles that they play in helping us as young people to choose careers.
Yes, they play a major role in shaping our careers. And we should listen to them and listen to their advice.
So is there no room, maybe just out of context? Maybe sometimes people can also make errors, thinking that this child has potential for this specific field. I used to be called a doctor myself when I was 4-1. And I was good at doing the first 18, but I realized, this is not for me. So what would you then say to someone, to a young person, probably they were told they have the potential to be in this field, but later on, when they do self-introspection, they realize this is not your field. What would be your advice on that?
Yeah, I guess besides what people prescribe for you that you should do this and that, you have an inborn desire. You should know what you really like, and you shouldn't be pressured to do what you don't like.
There you had it for yourself. You need to take time to really introspect, get to know your desires, your passion, and everything, which is powerful, Dr. Mawoko. What qualities it's now almost 11 years being in practice, academic, like you mentioned. But what qualities have you observed that you say these are essential for one to become a doctor? The inborn, now you're in practice, we are saying we need to help our aspiring doctors out there to choose well. What sort of qualities do you say these qualities a doctor must have?
I guess a doctor should love their work, should love what they do, should have a passion for what they do, and should be someone who is committed to what they do, because life of somebody depends on you, and you have to be someone who is reliable and available whenever you are needed. And also you need to be patient as a doctor. You need to be patient. Patient start from your studies, in your workplace, your relations with your patients. All those things require patience.
Thank you very much for that. You see, we have become a generation which is impatient. Especially when it comes to developing our careers. And we're saying if you want to become a doctor, specifically a surgeon, a specialist surgeon like yourself, you need to have that patience.
Yes.
So what makes us impatient mostly is the dollar.
Yes.
We want to make money. What word of advice would you give to a young person who wants to become a doctor and yet they want to earn the dollar quickly? What would you say?
So
reality check.
Reality check. Okay. So we've been made to believe that medicine is about money, but I think that's a misconception. It's not about money. When you choose to do medicine, it shouldn't be about money, but it should be because you have the passion you have the passion for medicine, you have the passion to help people who are in need, because you meet a lot of people with various needs and they are looking up to you for solutions. So money can come as a reward, but that should not be the driving force.
I just think you mentioned that the money is there, but the real work has to be done.
Yes.
Maybe you can just break it down for us. On an average, how many surgery time do you call it surgery time? The time that you spend in theater. On an average, how many hours do you spend in theater? That's what we are talking about here.
Yeah, it depends. Some days you particularly when you are working in the public sector, you could spend the whole from 8 to 4 in theater. Yeah, in theater doing various cases. And the times you are called for emergency, you're being in theater during the day from 8 to 5. Then you also have another emergency case which you can continue to do at night.
I believe at this age you can almost forget to eat.
Yes.
You're supposed to do some self-care.
Yes.
That's really demanding. So you mentioned you're working both in private and public. Tell us more of your current work situation. Where are you working and everything?
Okay. At the moment, in the public sector, I'm working at Salungabe Central Hospital.
Okay.
Working at Salungabe Central Hospital.
Okay. Only confined to the public sector?
Also working private. I have my rooms, Newton Park, and we do cases in various hospitals. So
people can actually book for appointments with you, and then you do the work at Newton Park?
Yes.
Beautiful. So I think after the interview, you can even share your contact so that those people would like to access you. I'm a testimony. You did a good job, my brother. Thank you very much for that.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Yes. So I think we will share your contact details so that those who want to access your services, they can as well do so. So how are you balancing working in the public sector as well as in the private sector? Is it something that every doctor must do? Is it a doctor thing? Or is something that you are trying to balance?
Yeah, I guess you have to be someone who's organized and able to plan your things, able to book your things, because in the public sector you're also required to work from 8 a.m. From 8 a.m. So you have to attend to cases in the public sector, as well as after you are done, then you can attend your private cases. But we work as a team.
Teamwork, which is essential.
Yes.
So for our students out there or our young people, and blessed We are saying one of the things that you need to have in terms of the qualities we mentioned before, you need to be someone who's able to work in team. You need to be a team player. Then you spoke of being organized. Being organized, that's at university.
Yes.
Being able to do your assignments on time. Please emphasize on how time is important for a doctor. Being timely and being organized, how is that important? So that you don't just end up having these skills in the workplace. It's something that you develop over time. Kindly emphasize on that.
Yes, as a surgeon, I think time is very important. In terms of treating your patients, there are some conditions that you need to fix in a very short period of time. Otherwise, if there are any delays, you won't have good outcomes.
Can you give an example?
For example, someone with intestinal obstruction, they've got a distended abdomen and their intestines are twisted. So you have to quickly go into theater to untwist the twisted intestines. Because if you delay, the intestines will die. And you need to perform much worse surgery on that patient. And the outcomes may not be so good.
Normally, how long do you take for such surgeries?
2 hours on average, plus or minus.
The timeliness is very important for a doctor if you want to become one. So be organized, start to have those small habits. Once you're at school, at high school, start to learn how to be organized. Organize your things, be timely, be a team worker. Do not, solo thing. Where usually we have this problem in high schools, even in schools, whereby it's a competitive spirit. Yet you want to become a doctor. In this profession, in order for you to achieve more, you need to be a team player, like you mentioned. So students and young people out there who aspire to become doctors or to venture into the medical fraternity, you have heard it for yourself from Dr. Moko. Please do work on those things as starting now actually, and you'll be good to go. You'll be good. So Dr. Moko, I've seen so many students who are developing some, especially those in tertiary education, tertiary levels. Maybe their coping mechanisms with whatever they are facing, new things they are confronted with, new experiences and all these things. They end up developing excessive alcohol consumption. What impact does that have, or does it even have impact in the real workplace? So if it does, how should a young person prepare themselves? What should they do to develop other coping mechanisms that are not harmful?
I think responsibility is the main issue. Young people should be responsible enough, should know the effects of excessive alcohol intake, because it has got grave effects to your health, grave effects to your mental status and your social standing. So, in as much as you are allowed to drink, you should drink responsibly. Because if you come to a workplace drunk, you are bound to make mistakes, you are bound not to relate very well with patients, you are bound not to relate very well with colleagues. So it is not a good thing to take excessive alcohol whilst you are attending to your patients. Remember, the life of the patients depend on you, and if you are drunk, that may cost someone's life.
You mentioned something about being grave to one's health. We are saying a medical practitioner is our role model when it comes to health issues. And also, if you're not fit yourself, you cannot be able to provide that kind of service. Kindly emphasize on what must one do. Our young people out there, their eating habits, how they should take care of themselves as far as maintaining their health so that they can also provide that service to the other person.
I guess basically, one is to take care of their health, manage to take care of their body. What you eat is what you become. So avoid too much sugar, avoid too much fat diet, exercise regularly. You have to take alcohol, take it in moderation. If you take it in moderation, it actually is health benefits. But if you do it excessively, then it becomes something else.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mo.
So take care of your mental status. You should have hobbies. You should have things that you like to do on your spare time, just to relieve the stress and the tension. Because you don't want to be talking to patients when you are stressed and you have had a bad day. Okay, you need to relax at times.
Thank you very much for mentioning having hobbies. I was about to think doctors do not have hobbies. What's your hobby, by the way? What do you love to do?
What I love to do? I love cars. I love cars. Yes.
Do you go for sport for sporting car, or what do you call it? Sport car?
Races and whatnot. Yeah, I do attend car events. The selector base panels, the drag races at Donbrook, and I'm also part of a car club, Team VW and City Life Zimbabwe. So that's my hobby. Yeah.
At least someone has to get a hobby.
Yeah.
He loves cars. I don't know what you love. You need to develop it. Of course, it's good for refreshing, like you say.
Yes.
Self-care is important as a medical practitioner.
Yes.
And what's your favorite movie? Maybe a long time standing movie old time movies.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed the Shawshank Redemption.
I've never watched this
The
one.
Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
Yes, by Tim Robbins and this guy, what's his name? Oh, I've forgotten the black guy is quite famous.
I think I need to go through this one. Maybe it might give me some inspiration.
Yeah, it's just about hope. Hope, yes.
We need hope.
Yes.
Now that you're talking of hope, it resonates to the medical fraternity to always give patients hope.
Yes.
Despite even sometimes when you know this is a challenging situation, but giving them hope is essential. And it comes from the inner man, you as a doctor having that hope. So for our young people out there, you don't need to start to give others hope when you are a practitioner. I mean, be hope for yourself, right?
Yes.
Which is good. Thank you so much. So at least now I know the doctors also have a social life. Which is essential for self-care. Thank you very much for that. So, Dr. Mok, have you heard of incidences whereby munhu anotanzi anetsono mudumbu akasiwa kotoni and all these things, which we term human error. We call it human error, right? In your practice, what really causes human errors? Maybe our young people out there must know what are the contributing factors to most human errors, and how they can prepare themselves to prevent or to avoid, to limit those, so that at least we don't have people who then die because of these human errors. These are sensitive issues in your field.
Yeah, I guess we are human beings, and we are bound to make mistakes. Yes, and mistakes can happen, but there are things that are supposed to be followed so that you will not make the mistakes, or you reduce the risk of making a mistake. So there are set procedures that you should do in operating. For example, you need to count your instruments before you close the patient. You need to count your instruments. So the nurse has to count the instruments. The nurse has to count the swabs that you'll be using, the cloths that you'll be using. the nurse has to count all those things. But here and there, yeah, it has do happen. Yes.
In your experience as a surgeon, as a specialist surgeon so far, have you had those incidences where you have human error issues, and how did you handle them if you had any? Or maybe your colleagues, how did they handle them? I'm looking at the qualities that one must have in terms of addressing these issues. Our young people need to know.
So the first thing is you need to admit that you are human. You can make mistakes, and once you have made mistakes, you mustn't try to cover up your mistakes, because that may cost someone's life. So once you notice that you have made a mistake, you can notify your seniors that, oh, in this case, I think something went wrong here, and then you'll be able to get help from your seniors or your colleagues timely, so that you help the situation, you help the patient.
Thank you very much. I think you need to
at times you go back to theatre, to take the patient back to theatre, and to actually explore where the problem is and fix it. Usually with someone else, your boss or your colleague. Yes.
Thank you very much for that. At least, thank you for mentioning a critical aspect. Admit that you are human. It's okay. Please emphasize so that our young people they understand that in life, even when you're young, because some of these things they develop when you're young. When you're someone who's always trying to scapegoat, to blame others. No, it wasn't me, it was because of ABCD. Please emphasize to our aspiring doctors out there how important for one to admit that I've made a mistake. You take ownership, you take responsibility.
Yes, it is.
We need to nurture these things in our young people.
It is very, very important. Even when you are still in theatre and you think you need help, you should call for help.
Thank you.
You should have someone you call for help when you need, so that they come and assist you. Not to try and do things that you are not comfortable with. Yes.
So the element of competition, taking the spotlight. That's our problem as young people. We want all the spotlight to ourselves. This is the best. It's okay to say, I need help.
Yes.
Kindly emphasize on that, so that young people they say it's okay. And then ask for help, be it from their teachers, from their colleagues, from their colleagues at workplace now when they are grown.
Yes. Yeah, I think the problem is people want to be heroes, you know. Yeah, people want to be heroes. I've seen grave effects happening because someone wants to be hero, someone wants to say, I did this case in 20 minutes. Yeah, but
can you give some tangible examples? Of course, names are political. We're going to give the names, but can you give one or two examples so that our young people, they have a deep understanding and appreciation of the importance of admitting that you're human, you need help, and calling for help. Maybe one or two examples of things that really happened. Is it a tough one?
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough one.
Okay, maybe just.
It's a bit of a tough one. Yeah. Maybe I prefer to when I was starting to operate as a junior registrar. You know, when you are starting, you are called a registrar. So when you are a junior registrar, so at times you open a patient, and you see that the intestines are dead, and you have to cut here and join the intestines. So if you are not competent with the procedure, what you have joined, things can actually leak from there intestinal contents can actually leak from there. So you need to call your senior that I found gangrenous intestines. Can you come and help me? Then they come and they help you to remove it, bowel, and to join it together.
So the other thing that I've just picked just now is the importance of being willing to learn from your seniors.
Yes.
So that at least it's not, I mean, you're not alone in this world. There are those people who have made it who should help you in the journey so that your life will not be as hell, but also to be the best that you can. Maybe you can emphasize on that so that our young people, they understand the value of asking for help. Be willing to learn.
Yes, so you need to be willing to learn. You should have someone you are able to submit to. Yes. In the medical fraternity, there are very senior doctors, middle level doctors, and young doctors. So you should understand your level, you should understand your position. And the procedures also depends with the level of competence that you've acquired. Some have been in the industry for more than 30 years. They've come across quite a number of challenging cases, and they are quite experienced. And you need to be humble enough to ask for help from those senior colleagues.
Thank you very much for that. Be humble enough.
Yes.
Humility is key. Humble yourself. You will get there when time comes. You also be a senior someday, because after all, people we are hoping in fresh blood. We are hoping in fresh blood. If you notice some of these problems with fresh blood that you're also working with, an account of working with young people, probably the current students who have been deployed.
Yeah, we do.
And what has been your observations in relation to these characteristics we are taking?
Yeah, we do work with junior doctors, and they do their internship for 2 years. So after finishing your medicine degree, you have to be attached to a central hospital for about 2 years, and they'll be rotating in various disciplines. Yes. So it is our honors to teach them. When they come to general surgery, we teach them how to prepare patients to theater, how to resuscitate patients, and to identify various gaps. You know, each individual is different.
Very true.
Yes, each one has their own gaps that are different to this one. So you tend to address each one's gaps on a case-by-case basis.
Very true.
Yes.
But on average, are we saying our young people, they are humble enough to ask for help? Or they are saying, I know it, or I've studied, this time we have a better advanced syllabus at school. Are they humble enough?
Yeah, I guess it's about the personalities, really. It's about the personalities, really. And at times you have to give them insight that they should be humble enough to call for help.
Very true.
Yes. Because at times they wouldn't know that I should call my boss for such cases like this. So the next time you see a case like this, please get hold of me.
It's okay.
It's okay. Yes.
Thank you very much for those insights. They are very powerful. At least I believe our young aspiring doctors out there will pick one or two essential things that they should start with now. Asking for help, humility, teamwork, collaboration, being organized, to mention just a few things.
Yeah, so in medicine, there are no heroes. Heroes are not made in theater, heroes are made in war. So, yeah.
Please emphasize made in war.
Yeah, heroes are made in war, not in theater.
Not in theater.
So don't try to be heroic in theater. Just do things by the book. Yeah.
Thank you. By the book. By the book.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that. So, In your profession, you know, each and every profession has its own gaps, be it in knowledge or in practice. What are some of the gaps that are in your profession that you say our young people out there must come prepared to fill or maybe to work on? What are some of the gaps? Maybe in your integration with other disciplines, pharmaceuticals, etc. What are some of the gaps?
Yeah, maybe I wouldn't say there's a knowledge gap. We were very knowledgeable doctors. Maybe what we just need is to equip them in keeping or in line with the current technological advancements. Yes, I think maybe in other countries they are now do things that are far much advanced than us. Yes, for example, we still do more of open surgery. Yeah, out there they are now doing more of laparoscopic surgery.
What is it?
Keyhole surgery, where they put a camera into the abdomen and they will be seeing on the monitor what they are doing, and they actually move things and do sorts of procedures. Yeah, we are doing it here, but it's still at the early stages, and maybe the private sector, but in the public sector it is not yet well established. So those are some of the gaps.
So thank you for mentioning the technology bit. So I believe change is still happening, and a lot of technological advancement is still happening till death do us apart.
Yes.
So I think, what word would you say to our young people out there who are also learning? Probably you said we are taking our baby steps in terms of working with the new technologies. What word would you then give to our young people who are already exposed to this technology? Probably they learned abroad and they had access to really learn the new technologies. Now they are back in Zimbabwe, they need to practice here, and there's that gap. What word would you then say to the young person? How do they adjust? What should they do?
Yeah, I guess the young people are the ones to actually lead the way in embracing the technology. Yeah, they should lead the way to actually embrace the technology, to bring in new things which the old generation has not been able to do over the years. But it needs quite some resource also to do so, to source the machinery, not and whatnot. Yes. So basically, it really needs support from everyone else.
Thank you. I'm just imagining a scenario where a young person we have learned, we have done your studies probably in Oxford, where they are exposed to all these technologies, and they are back in Zimbabwe, where there is not yet these advancements, and they are now struggling to fit into the environment. Yes. What word of encouragement would you give to such a young person, young woman or young person, to say how do they adjust into the field? We are saying these are real world
issues. At times it's not really about them adjusting, but it's about them actually being innovative and actually bringing those things here. Actually, they don't necessarily have to have the money to bring those things here, but I'm sure they can have some influence in some and some leadership skills to actually make sure those things are being done. Yeah. However, yeah, the University of Zimbabwe started some of the courses in laparoscopic surgery, and it is going to be taught to younger people. So the more younger people are taught about this, we expect that everyone will see the need for it and run with it. Yes, yes.
Thank you. You mentioned something which is very essential, that young people should take the leadership role in terms of bringing the technologies, not to shy away.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I also picked that you said as much as it takes a lot of money, but sometimes you might have connections.
Yes.
You might have those connections. So young people out there, don't say Zimbabwe is still backward. We need you
yes.
to make those initiatives.
Yes.
And also, your seniors here, they're willing to support. So I believe we'll get somewhere.
Yes.
We'll get somewhere. So thank you very much for that. Young people, young aspiring, you have that fire burning in you, and make sure you take the leadership role. We need to have those technological advancements. We need to be like India.
Yes.
I have heard India is one of the best country with technology.
Most people are going to India for certain procedures, which we can do here
because of the equipment, which is unavailable. So you have a challenge, young person out there. You aspire to be in surgery. You aspire to be a surgeon specialist like Dr. Mooko here. Feel free to take the leadership role to make the initiatives. At least if you don't have the cash, link up, connect. The seniors are willing to help you so that we make our health sector the best of the best. Thank you very much for that, Dr. Mooko.
You're welcome, Cindy.
So maybe to round up, I have 3 kids, right?
Yes.
And a beautiful woman.
Yes.
So maybe as a doctor, how has it been like for you to juggle both work and family? How has it been like? I know you said sometimes you have to work, you have to balance your work in the public sector and of course in the private sector. How are you balancing? How are you juggling? How are you fighting the good fight? Probably a young person out there, they also want to get married and have family of their own. How have you been going? How have you been working on it?
I guess just need to balance your time. Just know that Sunday is a church day. You have to go to church.
What will you do if you go?
Unless you are on call, of course. You can't on call every day. Yeah, you can't on call every Saturday or every Sunday. Yeah. So yeah, where I work, we are 5 teams. So the weekends are rotated.
Okay.
Yes, the weekends are rotated. So the 5th weekend is the one where I will be on call. I will be on call. Yeah. And also I have got juniors who are also studying general surgery. So those are the ones. I also mentor, I also teach to do some of the minor procedures. Yes. So as a doctor or as a surgeon, you need to groom someone else. You need to groom someone else. You need to mentor someone else, and you should be able to delegate as well. You mustn't do all things by yourself. So sometimes, I've taught him to do this, so he can do it. But you are within reach, so that if he gets into problem, he calls you, boss, I have this, then you come and assist them. You should know that you have a family. Family time is also very, very important. Have some weekends where you go with the kids out and the family out. Yeah.
You know what? I've picked something essential in all you said. Willingness to balance. So because you find there are other people out there, I believe they are always making excuses because they are not willing. So if you want to become a family man like Dr. Amoko, or a family woman like, I don't know, the other doctors, female doctors out there, be willing to make time. Be willing to, because for you to, even for you to delegate, it's because you're willing, you know this time that you need to create. Even for you to be able to mentor someone, it's because you're willing to create a specific time for your family. So willingness is very key. Thank you very much for that. So for those who want to be mentored, I mean, you have heard the targets, the nuggets from Dr. Maoko. You yourself, you want to have a family one other day. Start to have the ability or the willingness to marry someone so that you create this specific time with your girlfriend. Start small. Yes, so that
you shouldn't be doing everything by yourself.
You see now.
You should share the knowledge, share the knowledge with others.
So that
that's how we grow as human beings.
Very true. You need to keep the unnecessary conflicts with your girlfriends. So if you want to be a family person one day, you have heard it from Dr. Maoko. Balance, be willing, collaborate, mentor, delegate, which are essential aspects. So maybe your last words, words of encouragement, words of knowledge, words of inspiration or guidance to someone who wants to become a surgeon like you. What words do you have, or maybe areas that I've not addressed in this interview?
It's about the passion. If you really want something with your heart, I saw a saying said the whole universe will help you to get it. So if you really want to become a doctor, don't lose hope, don't lose heart, stay focused. Some of us we came from very disadvantaged backgrounds, and a lot of people have helped us to be here. So be willing to accept help from other people, and don't lose focus. Keep focused on what you want to achieve in life. Keep focused. Yes. So I would like to tell someone it is possible. It is possible, and above all, you should have faith in God. Believe in Him, and He will take you through. Yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Maoko. It has been quite an interesting conversation with you. Thank you very much. I believe our young people out there, they have picked a lot that can help them when they are picking, when they're choosing their career, and also when they are now in practice.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that. So there you have it, friends and family. You have heard it for yourself from the man himself, Dr. Maoko, our specialist surgeon, Dr. Maoko. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Until next time.
Thank you.